Hey, have I been MIA for the past 3 months? Yes. Do I want to talk about it? No.
Look. Okay, I know what it feel like to be young and single. You know the life when your pockets got a...
Today, I wanted to talk about goals, or essentially do a recap on goals, because back in April of this year, which feels like light years ago, I posted Today we're talking about goals, my goals for 2018 and the things that I wanted to accomplish. And as it's November and this year is coming to an end and I'm getting ready to outline some of the things I hope to accomplish next year, I thought this was good timing to go over said goals and see what I succeeded at, what I failed at, which is a lot, and hopefully inspire you and remind you of the goals you set for yourself. So I have my handy dandy planner that was given to me by my best friend Tori. I've been using this since March, I believe, to keep track of all my goals and my vision for my life. It's really good. It's called Law of Attraction Planner. Highly suggest you look that up on Amazon. So I'm not really gonna waste much time. I'm just gonna get straight into it because ain't nobody got time. I got work in an hour, so let's get her done. This is my list. It's been refurbished several times. I guess we'll start just at the top of the list. Is that what we want to do? So number 1 is submit my work. I don't like rejection. I don't think anyone does, but I really don't like rejection. Get published by a popular writing outlet. I want to be published by New York Times Modern Love Column, and Thought Catalog is on here. Did I do this? No. Because writing a piece like that takes a lot of time, and I also realized it was just really self-serving why I wanted to get published. I mostly wanted to be published to validate that I am a worthy enough writer and that I'm a good writer, and you know, I don't care anymore. Like, I write because I enjoy it, I write because I hope it connects with people, and me not care if it's on the big blog thing. That's not really my goal. I think when I said that, I was just really emotionally invested in my writing, so I really wanted that validation of like, see, you are good. New York Times has posted you. I think I definitely still want to do this maybe at some point in the future, but it is not an immediate priority. So I didn't do this and I don't really feel bad about that. So number 2, which also falls under the umbrella of my writing, is write a book. Finish the first draft of my book. And I've told some people about this book, and I don't even know if I want to write this book anymore. Just because I've grown as a person, and I don't know, I just don't know if it will really be beneficial in a way that is glorifying to my Most High, to put it shortly. And it's just not a book that you haven't read before, that you haven't heard of before. I may still write it. I feel like this was another self-serving venture. I just wanted to share my stories, and some of them are gossipy, and yeah. Maybe in the future it's another one of those things of like, maybe I will finish this book, but it's not top priority. Number 3 is to reach 100 YouTube subscribers. I have a lot of goals this year that I do not care about anymore. So at the start of this year, I was really focused on creating a brand online with like my blog and my YouTube, and just having an online platform or presence. And you know, goals change, perspectives change. I'm not really so concerned with that anymore. So this is another one that I did not reach, and I do not really care to reach because, yeah, I just don't. Okay, number 4, 1 blog post per month. Also going in line with the same thing of my writing. I was just really writing focused, and then life happened and I was reminded of all the other things that are important to me, and popularity and high visibility is not one of those things. So I actually do still want to do this. I do still want to post 1 blog post per month, but I've just been feeling kind of creatively stuck as well, so my heart has to be in it, and my heart hasn't been in it, and I'm striving to get back on this goal. I think for the most part, we'll do check minus for this because I did post, but as I said, I've been MIA for the past 3 months. Now we are on to the personal betterment section of my goals. That first half was career goals. This is all personal betterment. So number 1 on my personal betterment is, number 1 is to lose 25 pounds. And I did that. I actually think I'm just shy of 25. My goal weight is 195, which I know, like, oh, you're not supposed to tell your weight online. But at my heaviest, I was probably close to 230. I was like 225. And I'll insert a clip of the picture of the moment when I realized something has to change, because I just wasn't comfortable in my body anymore, and I've always worked out and been active, but you know, I just had a slump.
And this is June of this year, which triggered me to lose the weight because, boy,
you like Krabby Patties, don't
fat.
you,
Look,
Squidward?
those are the size of both of their heads. And then this is a few weeks ago to this past week. 25 pounds. Jeez. Went from this to dish.
But I did lose the weight. I did keto and intermittent fasting. I'm not gonna get too deep into that because you can Google, but I have lost about 22 pounds thus far and still striving to hit my goal weight. I'm about 5 to 7 pounds off. And I lost the weight without working out. So I need to get back in the gym is essentially what I'm saying. Number 2 is to read. I love reading. I love reading. Do I make time for it all the time? No. Reading is on my goal list every single year because knowledge is wealth. I love hard, like paperback, hardback books. Like I love to flip through pages, but the way my life is set up is I just don't really be having time. Or like I do have time, but it's just not ideal. So I actually just downloaded Audible yesterday and I started reading Essentialism, or listening to Essentialism, but I'm getting back on this. I failed at this. I think I only finished about 1 book this year, but I really tried. I really tried. Number 3 is aprender español. Learn Spanish. No hablo. Pequeño. Yeah, I failed that. I don't have any reason why. I just failed. My 8th goal, there's only 1 more, is to generate a second income. That's number 4. I did do that. So being completely transparent, I was broke, okay? I had about $4,000 in my savings when I moved out here. I was jobless for 3 months, 2 or 3 months, and it just kept whittling away. And then coming into the beginning of this year, I had gotten my job, but the income wasn't matching the outcome. And then I went on a trip that cost a lot of money. I just don't think I was very fiscally responsible when I started this year. And so I DoorDashed. Long story short, I DoorDashed for a few months. It was a blessing. It was a huge help because we had a lot of guests, and you know, when you have company, you're eating out and going places, and so I used that money as my fun money so that my bills and my responsibilities and my savings could be restored. And through grace, I am not in that boat anymore. Like I don't have to DoorDash. I haven't DoorDashed in the past few months. I would still like to sustain a second income, but it's not a necessity. To God be the glory, truly. I think I will continue to strive to have a side hustle, but I did that. I had a second income. Ooh, ooh. Number 5. This one was a later addition that I don't think was in my initial video, but it was to seek out my master's degree. And I've done that. I applied a couple weeks ago. I got an interview coming up soon. But I finally took the steps to apply for grad school to get my master's in family, marriage, and singles therapy, and become licensed in practice and just do my calling. I had done that before I moved out here and I didn't get admitted, and I was kind of like scarred and fearful from that afterwards. And I finally, you know, just put one foot in front of the other and mustered up the faith to just apply again and do that. A couple more things that I accomplished that were not in this was I found community, and I think that was something I was really passionate about. The list I shared was not my original one. I think community was on my original one, and I've been so blessed with like this awesome community within my church of like other young disciples that are in their 20s and doing life, and awesome coworkers who are just my faves, and still remaining close with all my close friends, and even closer with my family and my nieces and my nephews, which I love every second of it. So to me, that is a goal. That was a huge goal of why I moved out here, and I feel so connected and so grateful. And refocusing and finding myself more. So, you know, I recently disconnected from online. To me, that was a goal because I am a lurk. I'm a lurk. I spend a lot of time online, but not necessarily communicating or getting into things, just, you know, stalking people's lives and checking on their progress, not necessarily in a spiteful way, but like being inspired and doing nothing with it. So I made the decision to black out and leaning into my calling, which is serving people, helping people, being with people. A huge thing I think that I accomplished this year was getting over my extreme introvertism. Is that a word? I'm gonna throw an ism on there. Introvertism. Don't at me, bro. I used to really just be so unaccommodating of like excessive interaction with people. Like I just going out all the time or always having someone over or in my bubble. I just didn't really cope well with that, and this past year has been such a learning curve of that, because I've had people visiting constantly. I've had several people live with me for short-term periods, and I've had to share my space like consistently and really just get over myself and be kind and be hospitable and go out more and do things, and I'm happy. That's it. I hope you accomplished all the goals you set out to do this year, and if you didn't set any, maybe this will encourage you to set some to, you know, it's fun to look back and see how much has changed and what you are capable of. So I hope this maybe inspired you to set some goals for 2019. Not resolutions, we don't do those. Goals for the short and the long term. And I'll try not to go ghost again, but I make no promises. Hope I'll be back next week with like a vlog or something. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed holiday season with your family and friends, and if you're like me and working, make that paper, mommy. And God bless.